So Dan Todd here,
Yes.
Platinum Blonde drummer.
Thank you very much.
How's it going with you in the land of Nova Scotia, Halifax?
I love it here. And I love the history of this place. It's fantastic.
Basically, you keep busy in the drum world, I'm sure, because your expertise and all that greatness.
Oh, you're way too kind. I have been busy. My phone rings, and I got a few things that I do. These guys keep me busy, and it's been a lot of fun. Playing is one thing, but it's advancing in the technology of what is today, sampling and triggering, and trying to compensate. Like it's come so far from just playing drums to actually triggering long keyboard parts, and there's a lot going on that you'll notice tonight. You come to the show, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's a lot going on that you'll see this evening. There's full chorus lines, or back half of Not in Love. There's this keyboard patch that you hear on the album. We don't have a keyboard player on stage, so I'm hitting a pad that's timed to a click.
Right.
And all that is sampled, and some of these samples I'm playing to are 16, 17 seconds long, which has been a real task in itself, getting all that organized, and I can make it look really impressive, but I couldn't do it on my own without the techs that I have, because these techs that I got, they're computer guys, they're studio guys, IT. They know what they're doing, and they just make me look great.
in that case, you're not just playing drums. You're working double.
I'm DJing. I'm doing everything back there. Yeah, absolutely. So there's one thing like laying down a foundation, but also being able to trigger different things that we need. For instance, like I was talking about the back half of the chorus in Not in Love. In Standing in the Dark, there's a keyboard patch that actually plays, and I'm not playing to a track. I'm actually just playing to a click. So. Standing in the dark, when I hit dark, that's when you'll hear this really neat keyboard sound that comes along with it. And again, that's timed to the click that I'm playing to. So there's, it's been pretty insane.
Now, how many years have you been with Platinum Blonde now?
I've been with the band now for 4 years.
Okay, so 4 years, you've learned a lot, I'm sure, in this process.
Constantly learning.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, what are the other bands you've played with? Because I've read your biography a little bit, and you have some interesting names marked.
Yeah, I played in Honeymoon Suite, and I played with a band called Flood. Okay. That was the original lineup behind Cat Stevens.
Okay.
And they had significant success back in the 70s.
Right.
I was created in the 70s, so I was the young kid that was lucky enough to work with them. But because of them, I've worked with, got to play with Greg Godovitz, who I've become great friends with, and they're great. Just seem to be so connected with so many people. And I remember we did some dates last summer out west in Canada, where we played with Chilliwack, and those guys were all kind of connected with Flood as well. And that was cool. But I played with Kenny for years, Kenny McLean, the original bass player in Platinum Blonde.
Okay.
And
did you play on his album?
Which one?
Don't Hold Back?
No, that was before my time.
Okay.
Yeah. But toured all the stuff from Clear, and Kenny and I recorded together. And he was super talented. That guy, it was something. God rest his soul.
Yeah, I interviewed him actually in 1998, I do believe, on FM radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, I know. He was a character, man. He was a funny guy. You didn't know what to expect from him. And live, he just had such a vibrant personality, and he was a great guitar player.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that. But he played bass in Platinum Blonde, but fabulous guitar player. And what a singer! Set of pipes on him, really something else.
Also, as musicians do tend to play everything. As a drummer, I'm sure you play guitar and all that as well.
I bought a guitar. Actually, I got a guitar because Mark said, you should learn to play another instrument, and I tinkle around with it a little bit, you know what I mean, and stuff. But as far as really taking the time to focus on it, I've had my fingers into so many other things, as far as sampling and trying to get all that stuff happening. So I've got the guitar. I can play a few chords and stuff, but you want me to front a tune, I look really good wearing it. That's about it. You know what I mean? So, but as far as being able to go out and play it, not really. I can't say I'm a guitar player. You know what I mean? So.
Dan, one thing I'm seeing with you're a Facebook fanatic, and social media is your thing right now, is it?
I've always wanted to make sure that fans can be accessible to who they want to communicate with. Now, my schedule gets really heavy sometimes, and I have an administrator that will take over for me when I'm overwhelmed.
Right.
But I do my best to keep in touch with everybody. When I get the odd question that gets a little bit like too much, you know what I mean, and you know, sometimes I'll get like flogged. Like today during sound check, you know, Facebook's going nuts, and I can't really chat right now. I'm in the middle of something, and then of course they got to respond with, "What are you doing?" I'm not answering this question, you know what I mean? I'm busy, you know what I mean? So, but no, I've always liked to communicate with people. I have a fan page, Dan Todd fan page on Facebook.
With it, I discovered your father plays drums as well.
Yes, he's my dad. You know what I mean? He's my hero, man. He's 70, and there's one thing about like he's more of a big band drummer,
right?
You know, and when I listen to him play, he's just got such a tremendous amount of finesse, you know, which is it's very attractive to listen to, especially as a drummer. You know, when I'm playing Platinum Blonde songs, I have to play like a machine.
Right.
You know, I have to emulate dance grooves. You know, and but there's some human feel in there as well. So, but with my father, who's a big band, so
I'm sure he's like into Gene Krupa and all that.
Absolutely,
drummers, you know?
Absolutely, yeah, great drummer. And it's funny too because he admires what I do and what I've done, and I admire everything about my dad. He's my dad. You know what I mean? So I'm super proud. You know, he's still with us. And,
well, that means your family's all into music, I'm sure.
We are. My mom and dad, they still play in the church. You know what I mean? And mom's got a fabulous voice, and you know, dad still plays in the church and stuff. And I know that he's ventured and done a few other things, some band stuff, and he was playing with a band like they did marching parades and stuff like that too. So you know, it's good fun for him.
Well, Dan Todd, pleasure talking to you and finally meeting you in Nova Scotia, Canada.
Fantastic.
You know?
Thank you so much.
And hope you have a good one and good show tonight.
Cheers.